Hello, Larry at Willowbank Garden Centre in Dungannon here again. Today we're going to propagate hydrangeas, mophead hydrangeas, using softwood cuttings. So we're going to use a little 6-pack here, into which we're going to put 12 plants. And the compost we're going to use is a mixture of John Innes sieved compost with perlite. Very light compost, no fertiliser in it. So just fill that to the top, level it off, do not press it down, and just tap it on the bench, and it will form a little ridge to hold water. Now the plants themselves, these are softwood cuttings. We have taken new growth from the plant. This plant dies, all the leaves, loses all the leaves in winter. Now we're cutting here about 6 inches long. So what we're going to do here is we're going to remove these 2 bottom leaves, and we're left with a little cutting here, and you can see the new flower inside, and we're going to remove that flower. We don't want that in the cutting. So just, you can pinch that out with scissors or your nails. You're left with that. We're now going to cut straight across below the leaf node. You have a cutting now about 2.5 inches long. You can see in these here that the leaf is quite large, and that would lose a lot of water. So we're going to reduce the leaf size, and we simply just fold them together, cut it at a 45-degree angle, and you end up with a little cutting like that there. And we just insert that, a little hole with the pencil, and insert it into the compass, like that. I will turn the leaf to the side, because I'm going to put 2 into each, and they will help each other draw the moisture from the bottom and not allow the compost to get too damp around the base here. So there's one in there. Again, the second one, just cut off the large leaves. We're left with this here. There's a little centre flower at this time of the year. Take it out, cut it across below the node, and just reduce the leaf size by about half. And if you leave the leaf pointed like that, the moisture, it will help the moisture to run off. So again, plant them sideways, 2 into the square. Again, straight across it below the node, nip out the growing little flower in it. Again, remove the little flower inside. You could leave that one, but it's 4 in. So you get 12 through a tray here. We'll put those in, show you what to do in a minute. We'll put them in semi-shade after we water them in, and in about 6 weeks I would expect to see new roots on the bottom of these. Again, this is a shrub that sells quite well. It will come out in most often a pink flower, although the one in my garden here has a very bright blue flower. And there's ways to control the colour of the flower, but we'll not talk about that today. Again, nick out the little flower in the centre, because that would take up too much energy and would hinder the rooting process. If you were doing this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, that little flower in the centre would not have budded, but it would still grow on later, and you would have to pinch it out to help the plant to root. You can see it just coming there, it's covered by the leaf. There's 2 in each there. There's 10 and 2 more. Some people tell you you should use rooting powder when you're doing this, but I don't bother. First of all, I don't have any handy, and I wouldn't spend the money, and I find that they root perfectly well without it. So there's 12 in a little tray. Those retail in the garden centre. We sell them at £7 each, 6 12s, £72 in that there, and they should be available as young plants this time next year. So what I do now, I just set those into a tray of water. I have one over here. It's been sitting in water. You can see the water dripping out of it, and I will then just I'll set that one in water, but I put them into another tray like this. There's 24, and I will put this here little plastic top over, and I will leave the vent open at this time of the year and I will put those in a south facing wall or in a polytunnel, and that gives you 24 Mophead hydrangeas, which I would expect to root in about 4 to 6 weeks. So that's hydrangea, propagation of hydrangeas by softwood cuttings, and that's our lesson for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.